Prana, the life force, is what forms the space. The whole world is made of it, and this force is alive. Prana management is necessary so you can learn to manage your life, because prana is the basis of life. Through the knowledge of prana, you will know the whole universe. Through knowing the atom, you will know the whole universe. The one who knows this knows the whole universe. This is how Kriya Yoga works. Good afternoon, Master. You often use such a concept as prana, or the life force. Can you explain what it is and how we can feel it, or see it with our own eyes? Prana, the life force, is what forms the space. The whole world is made of it. Simply put, it is a kind of force or energy, which is the basis for life, for everything that you feel or see. It is the basis of atoms. There is prana, the life force behind the atoms. Prana itself consists of 5 types of energy: prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. These 5 types of energy interact with each other to form a powerful field. You can feel this field as an atom. An atom is not actually a particle, it's light, an energy. But figuratively speaking, we perceive an atom as something that can be touched because of an electromagnetic field. Electrons rotating around an atom create a magnetic field that we can touch, feel objects, measure their density. Therefore, if you understand that everything is energy, then you perceive this vital energy as the basis from which all forms arise. Everything that you call life, everything that you can touch. How can you feel it? In a normal state, a person cannot feel it, because it is a very subtle energy. Can you feel your body temperature? An ordinary person measures it. He may feel it, yes, a bit cool, a bit warm, and so on. But this energy is very subtle. You can feel it when you practice. When you meditate, you immerse your mind in the body. By immersing the mind in the body, you begin to feel that outside the physical body, which is the etheric part. But prana is even deeper, even thinner. So development is required. It requires the development of consciousness, the awakening of neurons, development of interhemispheric connections. Then you will be able to feel things beyond what you can touch. You can see it when you practice meditation, on sound and light, because you also develop centers that are able to see beyond ordinary vision. It's only a matter of time. Is prana and energy the same thing? Prana is energy. Prana means energy in Sanskrit. You can see this prana, particles of this pranic force, or elements, if you open your eyes. Look into the blue sky in sunny weather, and you will see a huge number of teeming, so-called light particles. These are elements of prana. They are like flickering, aren't they? Flickering worm-like things. Yes, these are the elements of prana. Sometimes you see pranic energy when you see a flash of light with your peripheral vision. You see this or that hue. These are elements of prana, but prana is even deeper, even further, even more subtle. We can say that in the end, prana is vibrations of sound and light. Can we learn to control prana, and why is it necessary? To learn how to control prana, and we indeed can learn this, understanding is needed as well as regular practice of yoga. Meditation, concentration, even going up to the state of samadhi. Then you can learn how to control the life force, or prana. This all happens when you form your consciousness, through practice, through spiritual practice, sadhana. We are speaking of Kriya Yoga in this case. Prana management is necessary so you can learn to manage your life, because prana is the basis of life. The vital functions of this body are all built up thanks to the presence of prana, vital force. The interaction of 5 types of energy that form, for example, your body, is the pranic force. And you can take control of it when you awaken consciousness in yourself. through which you take control of the processes in the body. And what does it give us when we take prana under control? To say the least, it gives a state of peace and stillness, joy, absence of illnesses, the presence of creative power, forces, and superpowers awaken in you. How difficult is it to get prana under control? As much as it is difficult for a person to make himself practice. How long does it take to get the first results? Or start feeling something, some changes? If you have good perseverance and sincerity, 1 minute is enough. But someone perceives this minute as a lifetime. It all depends on how passionate you are about what you want. And can we, through the control of prana or through the knowledge of prana, can we know the universe? Through the knowledge of prana, you will know the whole universe. Through knowing the atom, you will know the whole universe. The one who knows this knows the whole universe, as the atom is closer to us. The atom is the totality of these energies. It is the concentration of this force. If you know yourself, and your consciousness reaches the level of atomic perception, you will know the whole universe. Can you tell us a little more about this process, how the perception of atoms occurs? Because it is possible to imagine, but how can one feel an atom? Our body consists of organs and systems. I often talk about this at seminars. Organs and systems are what you know. This is what you can perceive elementary. But not all people feel their kidneys. Not all people feel their stomach, only when they are full. Not all people feel different parts of the body. It requires the development of the mind, which must be chained to this body, and the penetrating power of this consciousness must truly feel your body temple. This is the first level. Working in this way, you develop the brain, you awaken the neurons. You develop the brain's perceiving abilities, the brain's transmissive abilities, individual qualities. The whole brain in general begins to work very intensively. Your neurons awaken. When you achieve this in practice, you are able to feel more subtle manifestations of this energy in the body. This will be the etheric plane. Your organs and systems are made up of cells. You begin to feel that you are interacting with cells. Then with molecules. There is a huge force in our cells. Any cell is 1,000 times stronger than any virus. But the reason we don't use this energy is because we don't have the connection. Therefore, by energizing the body, which we often talk about, we restore connections, recreate new neurons, new neural connections. Then you have the opportunity to immerse consciousness deep into yourself. It is the way inside yourself. And through the perception of what a cell is, through the perception of what a molecule is, you get to the more subtle gaseous states of perception of these molecules and cells. You find the atom behind this. You begin to interact with the atom through your consciousness. You begin to understand how the molecule and the cell are arranged, how the atom is arranged, what is behind. That is, your brain, your consciousness begins to awaken, to become even more sensitive, more, let's say, visionary. You begin to see, understand. This knowledge is internal, and behind this atom, there is a pure interaction with energy. And such work allows you to do incredible things, something that doesn't happen in everyday life. You can know the qualities of all types of energy, how they work, how they interact with you, how they shape your body. Elements are constantly being brought to life from the astral plane. They crystallize themselves in the form of special elements that form the body. Some kind of force keeps the kidneys in their position, other organs, whole systems. And this force is alive, and you interact with this living force. This spatial consciousness and your consciousness, they begin to interact with each other. You comprehend the world through this interaction, but in reality, as I mentioned, there is a theory of the divine cave. I talk about this at the seminar, and there is a more detailed diagram of how this interaction takes place, how you develop, how you grow wiser. The wisdom arises from within you. Why? Because when you practice, you create conditions under which this powerful magnetism, attracting all the energies, allows you to accelerate the process of your evolution. This is how Kriya Yoga works. And therefore, in one lifetime, you can learn that there is a cosmic consciousness inside you. Can we somehow use prana, for example, to materialize objects, or can we control prana in some way? You can do it, but by the moment when you are able to do it, you will have an understanding that this is not necessary, only as a last resort. Because that's not the purpose of yoga. The knowledge or wisdom that you are striving for will give you an understanding that in this life, everything exists, everything is self-sufficient in this world. Everything that exists is there. Of course, you can do something for yourself if you see fit. But then again, it's the workings of the ego. When a person does something for himself with some purpose, it is the work of the ego. Usually, masters at this level do it for someone as a last resort, not for demonstration. But of course, you can do it. But for this, you need to know yourself. For this, you need to at least learn the right concentration. When you have enough strength to hold an idea, the mono-idea, without distraction. And the power of concentration should last at least 12 seconds of pure consciousness on one idea. Then you will be able to do it. If there is prana, this energy, or something that fills everything in the universe, then who controls this force or this energy? This force is controlled by the one who stands behind the life force, behind prana. The Holy Spirit, or transcendental energy as we call it in yoga, is behind prana. And the Holy Spirit is self-aware of itself, absolute, manifested in the form of this force, in the form of this energy. Behind this energy is the Absolute itself, the Creator Himself. The Creator vibrating, expressed Himself as Spirit or the Holy Spirit or the Transcendental Force. Then Transcendental Force, the self-conscious force that sustains this world through sound and light. While vibrating, it becomes more manifested, meaning more material, and this life force is prana. The life force, prana, contains in itself all the knowledge about God and the universe. It contains absolutely everything in itself, but there is one drawback. It does not realize itself. Awareness is lost here. So this is why our body is not aware of itself. This is why people are asleep. And so in order to wake up, we experience difficulties. So our task is to take control of our consciousness and direct it to self-development. And then having the material nature spiritualized. By making a cell very conscious, our consciousness first, then a cell after, we make this vital force, prana, conscious. And through it, we move on. So the Creator, or the Holy Spirit, if you like, is always behind prana, the life force. Can you say a couple of words how you work with prana in Kriya, in a little more detail? When you sit down to practice, I say that you need to learn to concentrate. We begin to feel the body, evenly, all parts of it. Then when you continue to work on yourself, feeling some changes already, you immerse your mind deeper and deeper into the sensations of perceiving yourself. On the way to this, one's mind acquires certain qualities, properties. In the end, the work takes place in such a way that everything, absolutely all parts of the body, are perceived by you as a single principle, as energy. This is facilitated by meditation on sound and light. Energization inside the spine helps to ensure that your chakras, when awakened, give away the knowledge that they contain on subtle levels. And through this knowledge you comprehend the world and the whole universe. And there is also knowledge of how to control the life force. But the control of the life force occurs through a mental concept, where you tune yourself towards what you want. Retain this concentration in mind. Enter into a state of meditation. In a state of meditation, deep meditation, breathing stops. Eventually, you enter samadhi. This is an oversimplified explanation. Thank you very much, Master. All the best to you.